So we were deeply involved in that knowingness by watching, by observing. When you watch the river, we get an idea that this is how the nature flows. It's called Prakriti Niyama. The river is, if you go to the source of the river, you won't find a huge emerging force. You just see a small trickle. Just go to Gomukh and see, it's a small trickle. And then as you go down into the mountain, it's like a huge cascading force. You look at way, as you go to Rudraprayag, you will see the convergence, the confluence of three, Ganga, Mandakini, Alaknanda. You will see the how the rivers are merging. Same way, this Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, its meeting point is the Triveni Sangama. This is the three nadis. And these three nadis merge. There is a confluence of these three nadis here. So that's very significant in our understanding that there has to be a convergence. We emerge out of the convergence as life, then we return back to the convergence and go back to the awareness of that we are part of the unique focal point of this universe. There is nowhere to go. People say, I want to go somewhere. Where do you want to go? There is nowhere to go. And the journey is actually being in the highest stillness is the highest journey. So the moving from static to movement. What is the static aspect of us? When you become so still, the movement becomes more intense. So the innermost silence, it's called Antarmauna, can also lead to an intense movement because the magnetism becomes supremely peaked out to its highest point. So what can lead you to that silence? Only contentment, deepest understanding, deepest knowingness that you are it. The minute even you move a one small degree of separation from it, you are not it. So to be trying to look outward, trying to chase people who can help me, who can guide me, which book may help me, which teacher may help me, which teaching may help me, which philosophy. So this is called Upanyasakas. Upasakas are different from Upanyasakas, who are telling you stories about how this scriptural awareness gathered, which master is great. How does it help you if Ramakrishna Paramahamsa got awakened into Samadhi by Totapuri? Because that you are not Ramakrishna. You are a unique individual. You are not going to access that level of peak of awareness because you are a unique being. You will access it in a unique way. Kundalini has got an expression of 325,000 sparks possible. Imagine if you can even access one. Most people are satisfied with an orgasm. Most people are satisfied with a belly full of food. Just this small tongue, which is called, I call it the conveyor belt. 1.5 inch conveyor belt with the 6 Shat Ruchis, it's called Rasa, Shat Rasas, 6 types of taste. So with this, people are already consumed by that. It's like a leveler, equalizer. People are happy when they want to experience the spirituality of its peak level. When they cannot do it, they will immediately resort to feeding. You feel good, go for a fantastic, sumptuous meal. You feel contented, heavy belly, go to sleep, have a dream, come back, everything feels good. So we are got replacement technologies. Yes, we find every alternative. That's why there is the word alternative use. We don't want to come into the mainstream. Let us do alternative stuff. So we always look around for excuses, escape routes, exit strategies, ways we can slip out into this commonality. The commonality is also tragic in the state that because it cannot lead you to a blissful consistency. That constant integrated cannot happen. We're always feeling incomplete, and that sense of incompleteness is going to torment us, and we're going to keep reducing the impact by applying the pain balm on a cancer. We're going to feel good. How are we going to replace it? We're going to replace the intense longing by immediately finding a replacement of finding somebody else to fill in. We look for a partner, we look for a friend, you look for a movie, you look for some alternative which can keep us occupied, keep us feeling important, feeling a sense of connectedness to somebody whom we feel can give us the sense of comfort. So this comfort zone is destabilized when you have to express this individuation, because here you are entering into unknown domains. You didn't know where it is going to take you, and that fear of unknown is what is causing people to be remaining dormant and not questioning the real self. We are so fragmented that we want to be consoled. We are looking for consolation, we are looking for solace, we're trying to feel good by the commonality. So the Kundalini is uniqueness, which has to happen from the intense pull in. That pull is so strong that you cannot even rest till it happens. So that level of resoluteness, that level of indomitable spirit, and that's what is the mountaineer involved in this process. That mountaineer knows it's going to face a blizzard, face a heavy gusty winds, face an avalanche, ready for a landslide, ready for any form of challenges that the mountain can offer. But the indomitable spirit and the supreme trust in that is that I connect with the mountain spirit so strong that the mountain is going to guide me, protect me, because there is a vested interest, there is a conspiracy that the mountain wants to test me, eventually grant me that opportunity, that as I climb I'm going to get more and more elevated. When I reach the peak, that's called Shikarastha Avastha. I'm not climbing the mountain to conquer or acquire anything or attain anything, but the deepest knowingness that higher we go, better the view. What is the view of this journey? The more you go higher, you're going to feel that all that separation that you felt, you can actually convert into unity. So look at this. Here is the huge intense pull of separatedness, which is causing us to feel incomplete. We always feel this is like a CEO of the brain, constantly pulling you outward, making you feel incomplete. And that strong individuation of my space, my mind, my thinking, my items, we always have already confined ourselves to that limitedness. But the back of the brain is like an occipital area which tells us that we are one with the universal flow. So this is unity, this is individuation. Just that small journey from unity to individuation to unity. We're oscillating, and that's why this journey of coming together is from moving from duality to unity. There has to be we cannot separate this, because we have chosen to come here on this planet. We still live here. We have to access the duality. We cannot exit from this planet just because we felt unity. We have still got a karmic residual to pay back. So while being in that balanced awareness that we are still going to use duality, the fact is that when we cleanse and purify this instrument, it is going to come alive. It has that immensity to come into a alive, awake state constantly, and give us that supreme connectedness. Where is it connected to whom? Where? We have an umbilical cord which you think we have severed from our mother. Yes, biologically we are cut from this umbilical cord. But the umbilical cord which keeps us intact with the matrix, Matru Bindu, is still on. We cannot sever from that. Whether we like it or not, we are all supremely connected. And the Kundalini makes it easier for us to feel the connection, because you feel the strong interconnectedness in the grid. You feel the strength of this power which is making you so complete that you're not looking anywhere to feel good. You're not looking to feed or get hungry or lusty to feel good about it, because the pull is so strong that the internal magnanimity is so intense that you cannot replace it with something pedestrian, ordinary, outward struggle. It just becomes so beautifully aligned. It's like watching a cinema. When you go into a cinema hall, the 70 screen comes alive in front of you, that there's nowhere to look. You don't even know who's sitting next to you. You don't care, because that's not important. The powerful projection is being so intensely held that you can't think of anything else. So that's the call of Kundalini. It's so intense and beautiful that you cannot even divert anywhere else, because it consumes you in its beautiful essence, in its beautiful glory of the supreme knowingness that the highest self is intensely calling us, and that pull is so strong, you take one step and the pull is 10 times magnified. So that level of pull happens. So this journey can look very difficult. We might look like it's going to be a long, short journey. But how can we increase that capacity? It's called progressive awareness, accelerated progression. When that accelerated progression happens, we don't wait forever to call it the right one. So we just move into that supremeness by clicking into alignment. So this alignment of this instrument, which looks like it is a long drawn process, it's not struggle, because we are supremely capable, because we have already that awareness. It is not new to us. The brain has so much subconscious memory stored that it is capable of accessing.